Cardinals Corner from Arizona Sports.
Cardinals Corner from Arizona Sports with Tyler Drake and Lauren Koval.
Primetime wins just feel a little bit more sweeter, especially when you can snap a 5-game losing streak. What's going on, everybody? Tyler Drake, Lauren Koval here for another round, Cardinals Corner. But this time, we're coming to you with a win after a whole lot of losses. And boy, does it feel good to be back in the studio to actually talk about some positivity. So Lauren, how we doing? How was Halloween? What'd you dress up as?
A lot of questions, lots of answers. Okay, Halloween, good. Halloween overall for me, a little uneventful as I had work, but I left to a Halloween party once that was over. Did not dress up, but did in fact try on my friend's inflatable unicorn costume that she got off of Amazon only about 8 hours before said Halloween party.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
What about
Awesome.
you? How are the kiddos?
They're doing good. We went as Power Rangers, so got to throw on the Green Ranger.
You got to tease in the preview pod for this week.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Definitely. So that was fun to do all that good stuff, but we're not here to talk about Halloween.
No.
We're here to talk about a 27-17 win. Cardinals on top, 3-5. Looks a hell of a lot different than 2-6. And you know what else looks a hell of a lot different? Jacoby Brissett running the Cardinals offense. So I guess I'm leaning that way.
Let's start there.
And do we, I don't even really know where to start. Let's start with what he did.
Okay.
21 of 31, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 carries for 4 yards, another touchdown. Orchestrated a win. This was the third time's the charm for Jacoby Brissett. After putting together 2 good showings, he finally gets that third one with a win. Huge. Got all of his playmakers involved. Marvin Harrison Jr., new career high for catches in a single game with 7.
Happened in the first half of the game.
Well, he set a career high in targets, I think, with 3 in the opening drive.
Mm-hmm.
So he ends up with 96 yards and a touchdown. Michael Wilson has a season high in yards this year with 61. Trey McBride adds another touchdown to his total. He's got 4 touchdowns in 3 games, all from Brissett. There is a lot to like about what he is putting on tape. And then you look at what he's doing on third down. He's pushing the ball. He's continuing to stay in the pocket. He's taking hits while he's finding his guys. Like, there's not a lot of bad you can say. Obviously, he missed Marvin there late, and he even said it himself, like, that's exactly the one I missed with him the last game. So you can tell they still want to get stuff figured out there. But all in all, there is no more. I don't think there's a talk you can have right now. Jacoby Brissett should be the guy for the Cardinals, regardless of what Jonathan Gannon wants to say, regardless of what Monty Ossenfort wants to say. Post-game, Jonathan Gannon still said nothing's changed. And that's a mistake. A big mistake. The results speak for themselves. And if there was any other wins attached to his 3-game stretch, it would be an absolute travesty to not have him start moving forward. It already feels that way.
And a 3-game losing streak for him at the helm where you easily could have won those games. I don't look back at them and think Jacoby Brissett cost the Cardinals those games in any way, shape, or form. My easiest takeaway from this quarterback controversy, if you will, is Jacoby Brissett makes it look easy.
Yes.
He makes the offense look easy. Mm-hmm. He just does the simple thing. I think I said it a few weeks. And not even the little things. It's just he throws it to the open guy. Mm-hmm. He doesn't try to force things. He gets his star playmakers involved early. Marvin Harrison Jr. in the first drive of this game. Trey McBride as the game goes on. Trey McBride and his touchdowns with Jacoby Brissett at the helm is a statistic to me that screams he's not making it hard on himself. Mm-hmm. He's doing the obvious thing. As much as plenty of Cardinals fans and even I myself go, well, why is Drew Petzing calling this? Why is he doing this? It doesn't matter because Jacoby Brissett's going to try to make it happen.
Yeah.
And that's part of, I'm sure, his and Petzing's longtime connection and how he's coached him and seen this evolution through the NFL. But Kyler Murray's had years of more time with Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. to build these connections that don't feel like they're on the field. And you watch a game against the Cowboys tonight where it really feels like your season's on the line in a very pathetic way, like that you've gotten here and wow, whoever loses this game, the trajectory of the rest of their season, not because the trade deadline is tomorrow and not because of any of that, but literally in your record, your performance, what are you going to do? And the Cardinals get it done this way in a game I'm not sure if they have Kyler Murray at the helm, they end up doing.
Yeah. I think with how bad Cowboys defense was, I mean, like I said this week, Kyler Murray missed a great opportunity to really flip everything on its head and silence all the noise. Get back to what it has been for the last couple of years. Like, instead, Jacoby goes out there and does his thing. It's the results speak for themselves. It's not a one-off.
No.
Can't say that anymore.
No, and
it is a clear trend, a clear pattern what Jacoby is doing with this offense.
And the reason that we wanted to see Kyler, I don't even know if wanted is the right word at this point, but the reason that you do desire Kyler Murray to come back in this Cowboys game is because of how bad their defense is. It is how well Kyler has historically done in that stadium, but it's also because this is the first game of that stretch now for the rest of the season where we talked about it's rough. It's not pretty. You've got to see your division rivals who are all outperforming you, even though they have their own series of question marks besides the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to leave them out of this because the Seahawks, they're good.
They're really good.
They're good.
They're really good.
And they don't have question marks. They know what they're doing. I mean, the biggest question mark, I guess, last night was, Cooper Kupp's out. What are they going to do? Never mind, Torrey Horton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to excuse them from that conversation. But you've got the 49ers QB question marks, injury question marks, everything under the sun with them. The Rams have been as solid as you've wanted them to be, even in the absence of Puka Nacua, who then returns this week and is like, yeah, I'm Puka.
I'm Puka.
We're fine without Cooper Kupp. I've figured it out. And Stafford looks electric. I mean, we had concerns about his back and being old. All of those things added up. It was like, this is the game that you need to see the Cardinals win, not to stay competitive in their division, but also just not to look like a lame duck at the end of the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the meme with all the dragons and they're like really mean faces. And then the last one's kind of like smiling and just there.
Yep.
That's been the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Well, and like you said, it's not going to get easy. They still have the toughest remaining strength of schedule. Going to be tough. And like you said, Seattle's right up next. It's like you're going to bring Kyler Murray back now when he's already not shown you enough through the first 5 weeks. Throw him back into the saddle. I said it again. Against Seattle, who is a very tough team. That does not seem like a great landing spot. And if Jacoby's running the offense how it should, and they're consistent and getting better with every rep they're throwing, it looks like, it just seems like they're taking 2 steps back if they decide, hey, we're throwing Murray back in.
And I don't know if your decision from the Arizona Cardinals front office to essentially bench Kyler Murray would be too much of a signal for this organization that now that first round draft pick has to be spent on a quarterback. Because you can't go into next season with Jacoby Brissett as your starting quarterback.
You've got to have a plan of attack.
Yes. And we've talked.
And you've also got to move off of Kyler if that's what you're going to do.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yes. And you have to commit to your way. You can't be 50-50 about it. And you can't look at all the other gaps the Cardinals have right now, which they do. They have offensive line gaps.
Right tackle needs fixed.
They need
another tight end.
You need another tight end. You need another wide receiver.
I kind of like what the wide receivers are doing right now.
I do too, but do I like it just because Jacoby Brissett's at the helm? And then if that's the truth, there's a lot of other questions that need to be answered. Because you need guys who do what Marvin Harrison Jr. did on his touchdown absolutely juke the Cowboys' number one defender. So much so he hits the turf. And then you have CeeDee Lamb. They flashed to him on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was incredible. So you need guys like that. And are these guys performing like that because that's what they can actually do? Are they performing like that because Jacoby Brissett's putting them in situations to do that? Can you trust the guy that you draft, if that's the route that you now have to go, to be that guy? Because that's basically an acknowledgement of your first round draft pick is now a quarterback.
Yeah. Which maybe it could be a tackle.
Yeah, and then that's you.
I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah, we don't know.
Regardless of who it is, it needs to be offense. There's the defense was figured out. We cannot do a repeat of but at the same time, everybody was like, Jacoby Brissett, that's the best offensive addition we have. He just got you a win. He just got you 3 games of what the offense should look like. And that should say a lot, I think, about what Monty's doing. Obviously, there are holes that need to be figured out and fixed and filled. And something's got to happen at right tackle. Another blocking tight end would be great. That could move Beach to right tackle. And Beach didn't really have the greatest game today either, but hey, they got the win. Okay,
what also is with them making him available as a pass catcher?
Because he's just he's the extra blocker, that blocking tight end. They just need to throw it to him one time.
Yes.
Throw it to him once.
I know the media asked him about it 2-3 weeks ago, and they were like, you keep making him an available pass catcher. What are you planning on doing with that? And Drew Petzing was like, yeah. That's it. That's it.
He's got good hands.
And I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Beach.
Just do it.
Make it happen.
Just do it. Okay. Offensively, and before we go, though, I did like what I saw out of the run game.
Yes.
4.1 yards per carry. Long of 19. Wasn't the biggest explosive, but 119 yards, 29 carries, 1 touchdown. That's the kind of efficient run game you need to have to really help this offense go, to really help you eat that play action going, to really help you push the ball down the field a little bit more. So liked that. But the one thing that stood out with me is Amari DeMercado led the way.
Yes.
14 carries, 79 yards, and got a very hearty F yeah from Jonathan Gannon.
Yes.
After holding on the ball, sliding before he went out of bounds. You could tell he's back into good graces, I think. And that's good news there. Bam Knight, 9 carries, 27 yards. Don't think he helped me win my fantasy football league today.
He did not help Gambo win our fantasy football league, but Gambo was playing me.
Oh.
And so I got the win.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you go. That was another good part of the offense, but I think we've got to go to the other side of the football, because when you only allow 1 touchdown to the Cowboys offense, that's like hitting a grand slam in the World Series to win the World Series.
I mean, basically, if I could give out some gold stars.
Yeah.
I mean, Calais Campbell, Josh Sweat,
Cody Simon,
friend
of the show,
Denzel
Walter Nolan.
Burke. I mean,
Will Johnson.
You play defense for the Cardinals today? You
get
want
a gold
one?
star.
You get one.
Yeah. That's really what it was. It really felt like that. Josh Sweat, you want to go ball out? Go ball out, Sweaty J.
Apply pressure basically every time you're rushed against Dak. And that's exactly what he did.
What I loved the most was the fact that there was multiple sacks in the fourth quarter. Walter, Campbell.
Yeah, Calais was just feasting there at the end of the game.
He's just that guy.
It almost felt like, I don't even know.
And you want to know,
Troy Aikman during the broadcast was like, that is one of the oldest active players in the NFL right now doing that. I mean, we saw, first of all, total pivot off of this game. Shout out to the old guys of the NFL this week. Calais Campbell, Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
I mean, they were balling out this weekend. I mean, even Aaron Rodgers. If we want to go that way, he looked great against the Colts.
Yeah.
So shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them. But I'm going to give a shout out to the young guy, Walter Nolan, because that's where I want to go now. First game as a pro, NFL debut, under the bright lights, 1 sack coming in the fourth quarter, massive sack when it happened, stopped a lot of that momentum from the Cowboys. And then his tackle for loss, opening drive. When the Cowboys, they're good. They're just going to chew up 9-8 yards a carry. No big deal. Clayton Adams, you're going to get your revenge game. You're going to show the Cardinals what they're missing in their run game. And they did for a little bit. And then the 2-yard loss in the red zone really stopped them. Walter Nolan, second play of him being on the field, gets it done. So it's been a long time coming, but shout out to that dude for bringing it. 2 tackles for loss, 1 pass defense, 1 sack, quarterback hit. Quarterback got hit a lot today. Yeah. 9 times.
I'm happy that Cardinals fans got to see Walter Nolan in action, watching that like spring in his step.
Yep.
What the guys had always talked about was the reason that they couldn't bring Walter Nolan back as soon as maybe they wanted is because of how explosive he is directly out of his stance. Mm-hmm. That is where he's going to beat you. And we go, okay, you're hurt, but how much does it matter? If you're ready to go, if you're practicing, go out there. It's taken him a while to be ready to do this. And there's been a lot of, I don't want to say like misinformation, but there's been a lot of, closed doors about what's going on with Walter Nolan and how he was doing before he actually got to make his debut onto the football field, about what's injured, how did it happen, how long was he going to be out. He's back now, though. Mm-hmm. We can shed that image completely because watching him break out of his stance on that goal line tackle for a loss against Javonte Williams, I was like, oh my God, how is that man there so quickly?
Big man, too.
Because they line up everybody. He sees the gap immediately. There's nobody lined up directly on him. Because of his spring out of his stance so quickly, he's immediately there.
Yeah.
And he's horizontal to tackle him in like seconds. I'm like, it's incredible because it's exactly what you wanted. And a shout out to the Monty Austin Fort defensive draft class in this game.
Yeah.
Because those guys were the key guys who made plays late in this game that were impactful, that when, I don't know if you felt the same way, when you were sitting watching the fourth quarter and all of a sudden the Cowboys are getting a little bit of momentum.
Oh, I was like,
and they're getting a touchdown. Yes. You're like, okay, I've seen this play 5 times before this season.
Yep.
So why would it be any different? Those guys, those young defensive guys is what changed the game.
PBU interception at the end. Like, he definitely deserves a lot of credit today. 2 passes defense total, but just a couple of really big plays coming at the biggest time. Here's the other thing, too. This win might very well keep Calais off the trading block.
Yeah, and that's what you hope.
And that's what you hope. Because if they would have lost and lost bad, I think we're all coming in tomorrow and not being surprised if Calais goes elsewhere. Because one, he can go win somewhere. He's the best player on this team defensively. But with what he showed, get the win. You're still there. There's some wind in the sails now. You look at, hey, what pieces do we need to bring in? Not what pieces do we need to get off the books. So I really think this win goes beyond just, losing streak, that's over. I think it also quiets the noise surrounding Calais Campbell potentially getting moved.
And I hope that's the case because the Cardinals have made moves the past 2 years at the deadline. Nothing splashy. Nothing.
Baron Browning it wasn't splashy, but it is paid off.
It's been impactful. But in terms of when you sit and read the names coming down, nothing as splashy as other teams have been making. And you kind of thought, okay, the Cardinals might do that again. And this time it might be Calais Campbell. And we might be having to wave goodbye to him in what could very well be his last NFL season. Yeah. Even though he's balling out.
Yeah, he's wild. He's wild.
He's nuts. And every presser, he's dropping a cuss word left and right. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, God.
And he's giving you gold every time. It's like whenever we get him, I'm like, all right, we've got 15 minutes of just good Calais.
Yes, and that's the kind of stuff that you want out of the Arizona Cardinals team in general and out of their leadership, because that's exactly what this team is needed over this losing streak. And you see it in Calais Campbell and you see it in Budda Baker and those kind of guys are exactly the names that sort of start to trickle in as like names that they could move at the trade deadline. And now
now this is your time to make the run. This is, if you really are confident in what this team has and what you've built. It's week by week, but you go knock off Seattle. I know trade deadline's tomorrow, but you go in and knock off Seattle, you're not right back in the picture, but you're starting to open the window for sure. I mean, looking at 2 wins to the 6 wins of everybody else in the NFC West, that was a long way up. Still a pretty far long way up, but it's at least doable. And a lot can happen the rest of the way.
And generally speaking, it just gets rid of a little bit of that sour taste in your mouth that you've been left with by the performance and the expectations early on in the season. If anything, it presents you with a new set of questions that we didn't necessarily have at the beginning of the year, but now we do, in a good way, in a way that shows an adaptability and a willingness to grow by this Arizona Cardinals team. And with that at the forefront, now you can really start to build what is this team going to look like, because we thought this was year 1 of the new Cardinals, like the end of the rebuild. Yeah. And it's not that.
Nope.
And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Nobody thinks it's that anymore. You look at this record and that's not what anybody expected. I mean, we finished what we called the easy part of the schedule already.
At 3-5.
And now we have the toughest schedule in the NFL, and you look up and you go, okay, things aren't getting better. You're not a team who, when they flash up the like in the hunt graphic,
they're not there.
You're not there. And you can shed those kinds of ideas on how this season hasn't turned out like you wanted them to be. And now you can pivot to, okay, how are you going to adapt? What is your next move? What is the trade deadline start to look like? Who is the starting quarterback of this team?
Yep.
When are we going to implement something that feels finite and like a real, true decision?
Yeah. Yep. It's going to be a couple weeks before they're back in the hunt graphic. There's 10 teams with at least 4 or more wins in the NFC.
I mean, the NFL is a gauntlet this year. There's not anybody who is the shining star, which is why we also talked about this being a great year for the Cardinals, because there isn't that shining star in the NFC. Yep. So go up there and just be above average to get into the playoffs. And they haven't been that. And I think that even makes what they've done this season even harder to swallow.
Yeah.
Because it feels like there's more opportunity, and yet they aren't taking it.
And it's always, hindsight's 20/20, but you look back and it's like, if Marv doesn't drop the ball, if Amari doesn't drop the ball, if Amari doesn't drop the ball again, like there's just so many of these. Yeah. They could easily be right there. But they also could be on the other side too.
Yeah. They're like maybe 2 plays away and like a collective 45 seconds away from being like a 2-loss team or a 6-loss team.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no in between.
Exactly. All right. If you had to pick somebody that you wanted, or not somebody, but let's just go position group. What position group would you like the Cardinals to target in the trade deadline?
Thank you for that. If you were watching the podcast, you saw a lot of different facial expressions cross over my face in the span of about 5 seconds. If you're familiar with the Spy Kids movie franchise at all, when they're like morphing everybody's faces, that's what mine looked like for a split second there. The answer is offensive line. I just don't know if you, as in the Cardinals, can give up enough to go get somebody who's going to make an impactful difference for you right away. So then you start to go, okay, if you make a change at offensive line instead, should you be looking for draft picks just to like build for your future? Because have you already written off this year in some way? I don't know. Yeah. And that's difficult at this point in the season. Offensive line feels like they need some help. It feels like in this game now, they've fixed the edge and applying some pressure.
Yeah.
Because they looked
Sent
good.
a couple more guys.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, is that because Nick Rallis actually decided to apply some pressure to Dak, realizing that
I think it was part of that.
he doesn't
And I
thrive
think it was
as
part
well
of
in a
they needed
collapsing
to figure
pocket?
something out to get more pressure late.
Yes,
You
because
see those sacks.
we've sat here and talked about the sack numbers this year for the Arizona Cardinals not being what we thought they would be, and Josh Sweat being great, but not a name we've sat and gone, wow, he's really done a phenomenal job this game.
Yeah.
That changed tonight against the Dallas Cowboys in a version of Nick Rallis' play calling where he's bringing more guys off the edge in a way where you feel more confident in your own corner's ability to force turnovers and guard those guys. I mean, I wouldn't have been shocked at all if we were sitting here tonight going, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens got theirs.
Yep.
And we're not,
Yeah.
which is proof that being able to shut down there and just having the quarterback hold the ball for a longer period of time.
Yep.
If you're rushing more guys, like we saw them come off the edge today, like we saw the Dallas Cowboys, who had a banged up offensive line up until a few weeks ago. I mean, they got their center back this week, looking a little iffy late there in the game just because of how much pressure you'd applied to them early on in the game. And instead of being the Cardinals team that we've seen this offensive line collapse late in games because they feel the pressure to perform, it was the total flip side of the coin this week.
Yep. And the good news is they could be getting another reinforcement back pretty soon. Trey Benson.
Mm-hmm.
Eligible to return beginning this next week. We'll have to see what that looks like, but it sounds like he's a little ahead of schedule.
Yes.
So that's really good news. You get him back in the run game, and that should only help it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some things to build off of here, but you can't start going back to Kyler. And I hate to say it, like nothing against Kyler. Had a great time talking to him on the pod, but when the results are telling you one thing and you're hearing something else from Gannon and Monty, like it's a mistake. I'm telling you, you got to roll with Brissett until further notice. Jacoby goes out there and lays an egg. Hey, move your franchise quarterback back in, but you're finding something right now with Jacoby. And you know what else? You got Marvin Harrison Jr. involved, and that probably made his dad very happy.
Yeah, we haven't
Because
talked about that yet.
Senior decided to go a little scorched earth today and say that it's hard to watch the Cardinals offense. Told ESPN that.
You can quote me on that.
You can quote me. When you say that at the end of a statement, that means you really are, you're in it.
That means you want it out there.
He's not attending games for his mental capacity.
I mean, he's like all of us watching this Cardinals
Crazy.
team. He just said it out loud about his son's team.
And then you hear Jacoby post-game. Yeah, we got off the bus. We got in there. They started game planning. We actually threw Marvin plays up there a little earlier. Oh, maybe that nudge was all we needed.
Or maybe it's just Jacoby Brissett recognizing that he is a wide receiver one. He should really be targeting against a Cowboys secondary that isn't good.
Yeah.
And so he's exploiting those connections. I mean, we sit here each week and say, basically, what is the star and what are we looking at? Like, what's the key to this game?
Mm-hmm.
And who could really change that for them?
Yeah.
I sat here last week and I said, George Pickens could be the guy who really affects this game. The Cardinals shut him down. The Cardinals win. We sit here plenty of times and go, this is a game for Marvin Harrison Jr. This is one where they can't stop him. They're not ready for him. And very little normally happens.
Yep.
This is a game where, again, Jacoby Brissett is just making it simple. He's not overacting. He's not throwing up the ball because it's complicated or because he's overwhelmed. Done with shooting themselves in the foot.
Yep.
That has been over when he's been at the helm for this team. And I think that says a lot about this offense because you want to see Jacoby Brissett keep going to see what this Cardinals offense can actually do.
Exactly. I mean, you go up against Seattle and you put together 4 quarters of consistent football. Because, it was close at the end there, but it wasn't really a game up until the last 8-9 minutes. That's going to tell you even more. But that's also, you have to have Jacoby in the starting lineup. This is going to be a very interesting week. We are going to be talking about this all week. Probably after next week. Probably after the week after that. It's going to be a constant topic until Kyler either goes out there and does it, or the team just says, we're going with Jacoby the rest of the way. And then we have all the fireworks that are going to come with that.
I was going to say, then that conversation turns into a bunch of other conversations.
A lot of other conversations where agents get involved. Maybe we see a very long statement again.
Are we going to be sitting here going, okay, what does the college class of QBs coming out look like?
There's quite a few.
There's a lot. This is a good year for quarterbacks.
It's going to be interesting. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But right now, it's, in my eyes, you put Jacoby out there, you've got a better chance to win.
Which is all you need to do. You need to give yourself a shot to win. And I think you can even tell that by the fact that this game was a win.
And it wasn't a one-score win.
No, and the Cardinals won.
It was actually not a one-score anything.
No.
They won by more than one touchdown, more than one score finally. But hey, Kyler's still a guy.
And
nothing's changed.
No, and I think what is a big signal of that is the fact that we're sitting here doing a win pod for the first time in many weeks. And our conversation,
and this is still the conversation.
We're still talking about this because it's still a conversation, and it will be a conversation until the Arizona Cardinals make a decision and say something about it. And I think that they'd argue they've made a decision because they've come out and said Kyler Murray is their starter. We have a plan. He will come back when he's ready. He was ready to go Saturday. He wasn't ready to go Sunday. And then today warming up, not ready to go. He's not playing. Okay. If that's your plan, I'm not interested.
Just take another couple weeks. Get healed up 100%.
I'm not interested in your plan if that's it.
Yeah. Yep. Decisions got to be made. Can't keep floundering. And when you see somebody else doing better at that job, you should probably stick with that guy. Like I said, until further notice, if Jacoby falls off and this thing totally falls off the rails, it's yours again, Kyler. But until that happens, Jacoby Brissett has more than earned his spot in the starting lineup.
More than earned. I mean, like you said earlier in the pod, when we sat here and talked about the offseason moves for the Arizona Cardinals, and we said Jacoby Brissett is basically their only offensive move, and yet we were proud of it. Yep. We were like, yep. You need another guy. Why. You need somebody else who's ready to go just in case. Kyler
not a Colt McCoy.
No.
It's just, it's not. Yeah.
And the Cardinals they're not a Green Bay Packers. They didn't have a plan.
No.
Like the Packers were, the second we move off of Aaron Rodgers, we have Jordan Love.
Well, the second we move off of Brett Favre, we have Aaron Rodgers. And then the second we move off of Aaron Rodgers, we have Jordan
Love. And we're all ready to go and we'll fall in this order. And certain teams have them ready to go. They have their backups ready for when they need to go out there. I mean, we're seeing that right now with the 49ers. And Purdy's out, and we bring in Mac Jones, and he can do exactly what we wanted Brock Purdy to do. The Cardinals don't have that luxury because you have Jacoby Brissett in there, and if you decide to move off of Kyler, you don't have the next guy.
Yep.
He's not on your roster. And I'd argue, based around how this Cardinals team is built, the average age of this Cardinals team and their position groups, that quarterback is also not in the NFL right now.
Yeah. That's a good point. It's always churning. NFL's always churning. All right. Anything else you want to add?
No, but
it's a late one.
But I love that the NFL is always churning because it gives us stuff to talk about what time is it?
11:30.
It gives us stuff to talk about at 11:30 on a Monday night.
Yep, I can see Felisa back there right now just looking at us like we keep on talking. With that,
I love, just for everybody who can't see her, just an aggressive head nod from her back there. Yes.
Well, in honor of Felisa, we will get out of here.
Yeah, and
so thanks again for stopping by. You can follow the show, AZ Cards Corner. Follow Lauren at Colville_Lauren. You can follow me, T Drake for Sports. And Cardinals got to win. The conversation surrounding the quarterback's only going to grow.
The preview pod this week will be fascinating.
Will be fascinating. Maybe there will be a trade or two involved as well. So make sure to stick around. Make sure to go onto Arizona Sports YouTube channel. Find all the good stuff at Arizona Sports. And until then, we'll see you next time.